How do you deal with that?
You deal with the military threat, military. How else do you deal with it?
Poonam.
But nature of the threat, right? And you have to respond to the nature of the threat. My concern, and frankly, I've had conversations. I've had one conversation with the foreign minister. In my view, he doesn't understand the threat. Right? It was a conversation I had in a committee meeting. I can't comment on it, but he just doesn't understand it, and he can keep. But in my view, the government is not understanding the actual threat from China, and a lot of commentators.
Shabani? Oh no, sorry, Poonam. Yeah, I thought you asked your question.
Hi,
Simply stating, the Prime Minister simply stating that nobody has entered our territory demonstrates that he does not understand the threat. Because the message to China with that statement is you can do it. And that message was sent to the Chinese by the Prime Minister of India.
Poonam?
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Poonam Joshi from ABP News. I wanted to, you mentioned that institutions have been taken over by the government that are expected to work neutrally. But looking at the media houses, most of them are playing the narrative of the ruling party. And in 2024, when the elections are going to take place, how do you plan to get your narrative across to the people of India who are hugely influenced by what's played on television? And also I'd like to know your thoughts on bulldozer politics, if you may.
I think I've said it 2 or 3 times. I think mass mobilization and ideas like Bharat Jodo are very, very powerful. As far as intimidation of any type is concerned, I don't like it. I believe in non-violence, and I don't like interview.
That's it. I mean, Shabani?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for taking so much time. I'm Shrabani Vasu from Anand Bazar Patrika. I just wanted to get back to the opposition unity that you've been talking about. We had this statement from Trinamool saying they were going to go it alone. How are you going to tackle these big regional powers as well?
Frankly, it's not my job to tackle it anymore. Mr. Kharge is going to tackle it. He'll, of course, have all the support of everybody who's working with him, but the Congress president is the person who has to think about how these alliances look and how they're structured. I of course have a view, and I will tell him my view, but the actual work is.
Are you confident it'll
Naomi,
happen?
please.
Regarding the Hindenburg report on Gautam Adani, George Soros said this will significantly weaken Modi's stranglehold on India's federal government and open the door to push for much-needed institutional reforms. I may be naive, but I expect a democratic revival in India, to which Jaishankar said Soros is old, rich, opinionated and dangerous, and thinks his views should determine how the entire world works. What's your view on what George Soros said and on what Jaishankar said?
I mean, George Soros might have his view. I'm not really interested in that view. I see with my own eyes what's going on in India, and I can see that Mr. Adani has gone from being the 609th richest man to the 2nd richest man in a matter of 3 years. I can see that he's rewarded across the board. I can see he's allowed to dominate industries in every industry in the country, and that we don't need Mr. George Soros to tell us that. We can clearly see it's happening. And he's got a very good relationship with the Prime Minister.
Munira?
Hi, I'm Munira from the Financial Times. Recently, around 5 million tons of lithium was found in Jammu and Kashmir. And there has been talk that the government is going to auction this to the highest private bidder. Obviously, people are very concerned about
Who it goes to.
Sorry.
They're concerned about who it goes to.
Yes.
Yeah. I can predict who it's going to go to if it's auctioned off. It's easy. His name begins with A.
What do you think the implications politically, economically, socially will be for Kashmir?
I haven't actually looked into the details of this question, but I can tell you that Mr. Adani seems to win every auction he takes part in. He doesn't need any experience to enter business. He gets the 6 most profitable airports in the country, has never worked in the airport business. So I can predict that Mr. Adani will probably get that lithium as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Khadija?
Last one?
From BBC, I think.
Last question.
I just wanted to ask you before 2024 election, what is the message to Indian Muslims, especially after your Bharat Jodo Yatra, the kind of story that you must have heard? Is there a message for them?
Message to all Indians is that you're part of this wonderful country. You're important for the future of this wonderful country, and the entire country has to come together and work together if it is to be successful.
Okay. Suresh Gupta is a very long.
I think the use of violence against anybody is wrong.
Mr. Gandhi, my
last
name is
question.
Suresh
Yeah,
Gupta,
absolutely.
New World newspaper. I'm settled in London since 1961. And I knew your grandmother, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, through Bal Sahyog in India.
Okay.
Because I was working from 58 to 61 for All India Radio. And then your great-grandfather, Pandit Nehru, through Bharat Yuva Samaj.
You met him?
Yes, I met him. I used to go to Trimurti House to get their signatures, etc.
Okay.
Because I had a bicycle, and they were just near All India Radio, all these organizations.
So what was your experience in meeting him? What did you think?
Pandit Nehru was a great man. I always touched his feet, and he always blessed me. Mrs. Gandhi, your grandmother, was like an elder sister to me. She helped me a great deal, and she was a wonderful woman. When she came here in a press conference in London, after being imprisoned by Morarji Desai, a journalist asked her, "What is your experience of prison in India?" And she said, "I don't want to talk anything bad about India in this conference. Now you are being constantly attacked in the Indian media for your Cambridge lecture. I hope that you will take some lesson from what Mrs. Indira Gandhi said, because I am your well-wisher, and I like to see you become Prime Minister of
What's
India
your
one day."
question?
There is no
So-
question.
So my question
What's your
is...
question?
Yeah,
There
my
is no
question
question.
is...
Please ask your question, otherwise.
Yeah. In 9 years that BJP has been in power, in your opinion, has Modi done anything good for India at all?
Look, I answered this question a few days ago. I think the RSS and the BJP are attacking the foundation of our country, attacking the democratic institutional structure of our country. I'm sure there are one or two policies which I would agree with, but I mean, we don't really need to get into it. I've said it, but that's not really the point. The point is that, in my view, they are attacking the foundation of our country, and that eclipses any policy, any good policy that they do, right? So this is so fundamental that to ask me to comment on a good policy or a bad, one policy that is good and another one that's slightly more effective, it sort of misses the point. This to me is bigger than everything else, right?
Okay, I think.
And by the way, just to touch the first part of your question, have you actually seen my Cambridge lecture?
Sorry?
Have you seen my Cambridge lecture?
Yeah, good.
I have heard about it.
No. Have you seen it? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You're not allowed? No. It's on the internet.
Well, everything is on the internet, and you can make your opinion.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But you got an opinion on it.
I mean, that's
See it.
That's a good point. I mean, if you have to make any opinion, please make an informed opinion. And I think that just concludes our session. I would like to thank Mr. Rahul Gandhi for taking time out from a very busy schedule and coming here and taking questions so sportingly. It is getting rare for political leaders to come out and answer questions in such an open way. So thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
coming
you.
here, Mr. Gandhi, and speaking to all our members. Thank you very much to everybody.
Can I just end?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, in these type of situations, we have a limited number of questions, so there must be quite a few people who would have liked to ask a question, but were not able to do so. I apologize for that. Hopefully, I'll come back some other time and I can answer your questions, the ones who are left. Then, thank you, and thank you for your time, and thank you for coming here.
Thank you.